Raw Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley against Charlotte Flair. And at the beginning, there were very loud "We Want Becky" chants, which they more than encouraged by Becky posting that she was there at the arena. So, I mean, that was clearly a direction that they were just throwing out there for people to want. And Charlotte responded by giving the middle finger to the crowd to the point that they cut to black. And came back. Yeah. She still had the middle finger out, I guess.
Since when on WWE TV are we censoring middle fingers here? I mean, that was the whole thing with one of your characters. You sold middle finger
a different era, though. I mean, we're not getting middle fingers.
Are we still saying in the PG era, though, that we had a guy say bullshit on TV and they replayed that in a video package?
You're right. It's, a finger is clearly more insulting than the actual term of bullshit.
Right. I thought Charlotte was really sharp here, ad-libbing this the way she did. Because, number one, I felt like
I thought she was going to encourage the chants, and instead, they tried to start it up again, but they died quickly, and then there was a pocket in the match where they did come back. But when this match started, I thought this crowd was going to overtake this match with Becky's stuff. And
me too.
And I didn't know if Charlotte giving them the middle finger was going to just fan the flames. But the crowd kind of just fell in line, and they kind of just let them go.
They would have still overtaken it if this match did not get as good as it did. That's what stopped the chance. You're right. When this match started, it was like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I have to say, I love this crowd. I love this Fort Worth crowd because they validated so many of the things that we've been saying for weeks without an audience. And that's that this feud sucks. Neither of these characters are over, and they were about to shit all over it by littering with "We Want Becky" chants. But then the match got really good.
Yeah, I mean, both worked super hard. I thought this was a great performance from Charlotte Flair. I mean, some of her facial reactions and just being on the cusp of winning and was about to just fall apart when she could not beat this woman. Ripley went for this cannonball, crashing on the floor, and then... the match is picking up. They're working really well. Ripley grabbed the wrists of Flair and flipped her over into this deadlift where you thought at first she was not going to get this woman up. And then boom, they just totally saved this spot. Mm-hmm. It looked great. They turned it into a good looking suplex. The crowd reacted well. Ripley blocked a natural selection and applied her inverted figure four submission that Flair rolled out of, and a riptide gets countered.
It's called the Prism, which they've, I guess, since abandoned the name.
They have not called it that, I don't think, once on the main roster.
No. Yeah.
So the riptide gets countered in midair with a DDT by Charlotte. This is our first big near fall, and that's when this match is just really cooking at this point. Flair stops a superplex by attacking the knee and hits a natural selection off the top for another giant near fall. And Ripley then sends Flair into the corner, and it looked like Flair was supposed to crash her head on the bottom turnbuckle and came up short. And it actually, I think, worked better because she just goes to the floor, and it was a realistic way of selling just a normal fall as opposed to smashing the back of your head on this turnbuckle and then firing back and coming back. It would have been like Christian and Matt Hardy the other night. Instead, this was a believable fall that took her to the floor, but she's not unconscious from it. And
she was almost supposed to play possum with the follow-up spot.
It made more sense that this was less impactful than it seemed to be designed with the turnbuckle. So she grabs Ripley's already injured knee and places it between the steps and just stomps this thing over and over, which I guess this is fair game.
Well, I mean, you're not picking up the stairs, she is.
Okay, but she picked up the announce desk last month and was disqualified for it.
It became an object she was using to hit somebody. This was just, okay, she caught her foot in there, and if I happen to kick my foot into the steps to pinch her foot into the post, that's her own fault.
All right, well... I think this match could have used the no DQ stipulation that they obviously did not want to attach to this, given the way they booked the finish last month. But nevertheless, she damages the knee further and then applies this beautiful looking figure eight. This bridge was goddamn insane. And Ripley is forced to tap. in 16 minutes and 48 seconds. So Charlotte Flair wins the Raw title for the 5th time and is now a 14-time women's champion.
Oh, God, I didn't even think of that stat. Wow.
Yes, 14 we are up to now. This was a great match. This was as good as their segments have been bad, which is saying a lot.
Yes, it has. All the credit in the world for these two for the in-ring quality of this match. This crowd went from chanting, "We want Becky" to "This is awesome," which is quite the feat. This crowd told the world at the start of this match that they didn't care about these two. They didn't care about the story. But by the end, they were with every near fall, every big spot. And man, it was like to me, I just like wanted to step back and feel like it was nice to have this kind of like dialogue between a live audience and the wrestlers in the ring too, like we can at least talk about a live crowd's reaction to a match now. So that to me is very refreshing. I thought Charlotte was on a different level tonight.
She was really, really good.
A very different energy from the moment she walked out. Even though she's a heel, you can't really hide it on her face. Like she was like had a big smile, and I felt like she was able to take that energy from that audience and she really put it into, I thought, an elevated performance here.
I really like the edge that she had. Like given the middle finger, like obviously they I guess didn't want that for whatever reason, but I thought it added a lot to this woman who is like obsessed with winning and is not going to take any shit from the crowd either. Like, I thought that added a cool edge to her character tonight.
I mean, she also knows she's probably going to face Becky next. And she also wanted to just cement the fact that she is the heel in the match, because that's what I thought this match was in the most danger of. Nobody really recognizing who to cheer for or who to boo, because both of them are equally as unlikable. Mm-hmm. But at least Charlotte, I thought, took the lead there. I think now that Rhea Ripley is without the championship and out of the spotlight, they really need to rethink about their understanding of her appeal to the audience. This entire run she's had with the belt, they pushed her all wrong. And you see what they've done with her in NXT. It's a completely different person. It's like somebody taking, like this beautiful vehicle and not knowing how to drive stick shift and completely fucking it up. So I hope now out of the spotlight, like they can reassess what truly makes her
reassess. Yes, you're right.
Reassess. There you go. So yeah. Is that Charlotte Becky? Can we safely assume
Charlotte Becky? Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the idea, if they're taking the brand affiliations seriously, then that's where you would expect Sasha and Becky to return. I mean, you could always do something different and switch the two and surprise people, but I lean towards Charlotte and Becky. That seems to be where we're going, and I would imagine you shoot that angle on Monday night.
I think to take Sasha Belair off the table would probably upset people. And at this point,
it would only be if you strategically don't want to go to Belair and Sasha. If you want to save that, you do have that option. Like if there's a strategic reason to get her away from SmackDown so that you can go to that match next year at WrestleMania. Because you put her on SmackDown, you have to do the rematch, and you can't sit on that one. There's nobody else.
But tonight, though, it seems like the crowd kind of wants Charlotte Becky. They want Becky, period, I guess.
I would imagine like that's the direction we go, and I think we'll know Monday night. I thought when I saw that photo today, though, I didn't think there was a chance we were seeing her tonight. I thought that was like the giveaway that they are not showing up tonight.
That is the WH spoiler. By telling you what you might see, you're basically telling the world that you're not going to see it. So,
yes.
She should do it again. She should do it again whenever she actually does appear.